Hello friends, welcome back. Today we'll explore one more micro niche. This is partly associated with fitness and partly with outdoor adventure. This is basically a product focused micro niche, basically there is an increasing demand for this. The reason is again because of the pandemic situation. A lot of people actually looking for this particular product to have some break without going too far for the tours and all this. Basically, it is very much popular and known to all of you. We are talking about the bicycles and cycling and mountain bikes kind of the product. So let's jump into the details. So let's basically analyze the details: bicycles and cycling. Let me actually use only these two keywords and let's see the data. Okay, so while data comes out, let's apply our 5-factor validation, typically the way we apply for any of the micro niche to select it. So first validation is difficulty or competition. Sorry, so there is one label here. You can see KD stands for keyword difficulty. Lesser is always better. Lower the keyword difficulty means low competition for that particular keyword. So for the new basically niche blocks, I always suggest pick the keywords with difficulty less than 20. Let's apply that particular filter and see how many keywords you will be able to see. Here it is. There are about 58k plus keywords are there, which are related to basically cycling and bicycles, but there will be lot of keywords that may not be exactly related to the product. So that's why you need to basically take some assumptions that not all will be exactly the keywords that you can write articles, but still considering the volume that is appearing here, 58k means even if you take out lot of thousands of keywords, still you will be left out lot many. So what it's basically the message this conveys is there are enough number of keywords with low difficulty or low competition. So first validation is true. Second validation is search volume. You can find one more label here. Volume stands for number of times this particular keyword has been searched on an average. Well news, this is what I just mentioned now. This is not exactly relevant to this particular product or activity, so you can skip that. But if you see here, bicycle blue book, this is again associated with that, not exactly the same product. Mongoose bike, or you can see trek bicycles, tech gear. These are all basically relevant keywords. So what it says is tech bicycles has been searched about 11k times per month on an average, though the difficulty is only 70. That's what it is. What is happening now is, because not people are not able to travel to their holidays across the world because of the pandemic situation. They are looking for some places nearby their own homes, or within their own hometowns, or within reachable from their home, and using some of these basically the bicycles or mountain bikes kind of vehicles to make that particular tour as one of the adventure event as well. So that's why there is an increasing demand for these kind of products of late. So if you see here, normally what I do is I look at the entire first page. If the volumes are more than 1000, I always consider it as a good volumes. Here you can see entire first page itself, it's starting at about more than 5000 4000 search traffic per month. So that means it has an excellent search volume as well. So second validation is also true. Third validation is basically scope for content. What we also want to do is when we are actually starting a blog, you need to ensure that there are enough number of topics for you to write. What we do, we already filtered the keywords based on the difficulty. We will apply one more filter to look how many keywords are there with at least a minimum monthly searches of a 500 plus. So let's apply this particular filter as well and see how many keywords you will be able to see, with the combination of this difficulty less than 20 and monthly search traffic more than 500, you can see here about nearly 5000 keywords are there. As I told you earlier, there will be a lot of redundant keywords and all those things, and basically the few irrelevant keywords also will be there. For example, if you see here Velo News, this may be covering some cycling event but not necessarily not really associated with this product directly, so you can skip this. And then some branded will basically the shops will keywords also will be there. For example, if you take Target bikes, I'm not sure, probably it is all about some Target brand or something related to any other event. So if you see here, no straight road wiki, so all these things are not the keywords that you are going to target. So typically we normally look for at least, I think 50% of keywords will be relevant. Here you can take only, even if you consider about a 10% of the keywords are relevant, you still have about a 500 keywords, more than enough for you to write enough number of articles if you start a new blog. So third validation is also true. The fourth, the most important validation is, do we have any other blog or website developed in this particular micro niche, performing pretty well, but not really a big website or a well established site. That's what we normally look for. So after so much of analysis, here is what I discovered. Bikes7.com. So the basically in typically the bikes and bicycles are used more or less as synonyms, okay, for the people who are slightly getting confused with the terms. So if you can see, the symbol itself conveys that. So let's look into the data points related to this particular website. Let's get into the Site Explorer and then key in this particular domain and wait for the details. So good. Now the first attribute I normally look for is DR. DR stands for domain rating. So if you start a new blog tomorrow, your DR will be 0. And if you just check the DR of any of the established websites like a Facebook, Microsoft or Google, etc., you will be able to find DR will be about between 90 or 100. What it means is, as and when the site grows, becomes a brand, attracts more traffic, DR keeps increasing. So if when you are actually looking for a reference site, if you pick a high DR site, then it doesn't justify that if you start a new website now you will become successful. But if you see the DR for this particular website is 6. 6 is basically, that means very much a fresh site, non-branded site. So if you start tomorrow, you will start with 0. Obtaining a 6 DR is absolutely not difficult at all. So that means what this conveys is, if you can actually produce a quality content, even if you're not a branded site, even if you are a new site, you have very good chances to basically succeed with this particular micro niche. That's what it conveys. And two more attributes what I normally look for is organic keywords, is nothing but how many number of search terms for which this particular website is appearing in search engines organically, like Google or Bing. About a 31k plus keywords, huge number. And how many number of organic traffic, you can see one more label here, organic traffic. Organic traffic is per month on an average how many visitors visiting this particular website through search engines, through Google, through Bing, etc. About a 9.2 nearly. Okay, so this looks very attractive with the low domain rating. So perfect. So that means your fourth validation is also true. Now the fifth validation, what we normally look for, learning potential. So at the end of the day, we want to make some money out of from this niche blog or niche website. That's why we are starting this. So how is the earning potential? Simple way, straightforward way of checking the earning potential of this particular niche is by looking at the earning potential of the reference site we just discovered. So there is one label here, something called traffic value. Traffic value is nothing but how much this particular website can earn if you properly monetize it. So if you can read through the definition here, the estimated value of the estimated value of your target's monthly organic search traffic. So considering the number of keywords this particular site is ranking for, considering number of visitors this particular site is attracting organically, if you properly monetize, this particular website has an earning potential of about 8.3k US dollars per month. Got it? So I normally advise you to take a very conservative way approach. Just consider about a 10% of it. Still, it is about 830 US dollars per month. Looks very attractive. That would be the starting point. Then you keep on basically working on the blog. Then it is only going to basically improve and become earn more and more. Okay. So that means even the fifth validation also looking pretty good. All validations are passed for this particular micro niche. And if you are looking for something in the fitness segment, or something in the sports segment, or probably some kind of a outing kind of a segment as well, I think this is one of the perfect micro niche, very much product focused. So it will be easy for you actually to become an expert in that particular segment as well. Let's have a quick glance as basically the kind of blogs this particular website has published, just to get an idea how depth or how qualitative the content is, so that you can also get an idea. So let me first look at the number of words of this particular article, and about a 1500 words, so not easily doable. Okay, so probably what this particular blog owner would have done it, I think they would have done proper the keywords research. See here, the target keyword here is basically the mountain bike, right? Mountain bike. And they covered the critical aspects that maybe other website wouldn't have covered, like frame materials, and if you see the tires, looks to be pretty much standard for me. So even 1500 word to the or 2000 word content is very much normal nowadays. So that means what it, even with this low number of words and shorter, relatively basically average length articles also, if the site is able to, is performing so well as data is showing here, that just conveys how profitable this particular micro niche is, and how much more potential this particular micro niche has. That's what the message is. Okay, so go ahead, and if you have any interest towards this particular segment, go ahead and pick it up and then do your research and publish superior content. I'm sure, I think success will follow you. That's all for today. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.